What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Robin, and so today I just wanted to discuss a story that had me quite perturbed when I heard about it. It was a story regarding college students here in sorry, not here in Minnesota, but in Atlanta, Georgia. Not sure if everyone has heard of it or if you are familiar with it. I'm just going to give my thoughts and my commentary on it. But it's about a girl. She's 21 years old. She's Alexis Crawford, and she went missing like right around Halloween in Atlanta. And I believe she was a college student at Atlanta Clark University. And so she was reported missing by her roommate and aka best friend Jordan Jones, who stated that she didn't come home. She didn't come home after she took her to the liquor store, whatever. They went home and she left, and she hadn't seen her since. And so her body was found. I believe her body was found in a park on November 1st, where she was dead. And come to find out, Jordan, Alexis's roommate and supposedly best friend, was the cause of her death, her and her boyfriend. So I am just going to read the article here in regards to that. And photos I got there in black and white, but you can still see them. So this is Alexis, and this is Jordan, and this is the boyfriend. I also have another picture that's in color, but here's what it says here. According to 11 Live, the 21-year-old Clark Atlanta University student was allegedly strangled and smothered to death after a physical altercation with her roommate. Crawford was first reported missing on November 1st, and authorities finally found her body in the Caleb County Park last Friday. According to a homicide unit summary, Jordan Jones, Crawford's roommate and seemingly best friend, got into a physical altercation with Crawford on Halloween. The report further noted that the 21-year-old Baron Brantley, Jones's boyfriend, got involved in the fight and ended up choking Crawford to death with his hands. The warrant for Jones also claims that she did smother the victim, Alexis Crawford, with a black trash bag until Crawford stopped breathing and was deceased. Investigators said Brantley admitted these details in an interview on Friday. Then it goes on to say, a Fulton County Superior Court pretrial report said that Jones's father told the court that Jordan is also on probation for a DUI in Michigan. Jones is set to appear in court on November 25th, and Brantley is scheduled for November 22nd. Crawford's family was rightfully shocked by her death, especially considering her roommate is the prime suspect. Reverend Marco Hutchinson spoke on behalf of the family and said Jones spent time with the family in the family home. He continued, they knew Jordan. They liked Jordan. There was never a reason to suspect that Jordan would do anything wrong or ill to Alexis. One family member described them as two peas in a pod. To go from that to where we are today is unthinkable and unspeakable. When Crawford was reported missing, Jones initially told investigators that Crawford asked her for a ride to the liquor store on October 30th about 11:30 p.m. Jones then said that they returned home and that she last saw Crawford around 12:30 a.m. on October 31st before going to bed for the night. It was later revealed that Crawford filed a police report, this is where it gets interesting, saying she was sexually assaulted before going missing However, it appears that law enforcement didn't take any action. They failed that girl. The Washington Post reported Crawford told authorities that Brantley had rubbed her shoulder with his hand and kissed her on the neck as they drank together. According to a police report, Crawford told police Brantley said he'd mistaken her for his girlfriend. Crawford's roommate, Jones. Crawford claimed that Brantley locked her inside the bathroom wearing only a bra. The report states it's unclear exactly when Jones found her roommate. A pair of cut panties were found in the bathroom. Jones alleged Crawford had passed out and Brantley denied having sex with her. There's no word yet if the alleged physical altercation between Crawford, Jones, and Brantley was related to Crawford's alleged sexual assault. Crawford's funeral is scheduled for Saturday at 12 p.m. at the Hill Chapel Baptist Church in Athens, Georgia, the student's hometown. Now, this story is sad all around. And as you can see from what they reported, one, when she reported that sexual assault, because he did sexually assault her. He took advantage of her being drunk. And obviously something happened if the roommate found her panties was cut off, and her roommate was passed out. But the police failed her, because if they would have took action, then they probably could have saved her life if they would have took him down to the police station, questioned him, and booked him on those sexual assault charges. And not to mention, he has a record as well for cruelty to children, some other type of abuse, and other charges on his record too that shows he's like, and I don't really want to judge, but undesirable. He had no reason to be around those two college girls who had their whole life ahead of them, and for Jordan to participate in the murder of her roommate's supposedly best friend is just beyond me. The only thing that I could think of that would she would assist in this would be because she felt threatened by the roommate. Like, she was jealous because her boyfriend found her roommate attractive and they possibly had sex together, so that little green-eyed monster was flashing in her eyes, and she probably only saw rage and hate for her roommate, because she probably thought, oh, she provoked him and blase blase. You know how insecure females think. And Jordan was a very pretty girl. So was Alexis. But Jordan probably thought that she was more prettier than Alexis, and was like, why would my boyfriend want her? That goes the whole stigma between lighter skin and darker skin. The whole psychology of that, where society still says lighter skin is more superior than darker skin, which is bullshit. And lighter skinned people are more attractive than dark skinned people, which is also bullshit that I don't agree with at all, because some of the most beautiful people I've seen in the world are dark skinned. Anyway, also, I personally believe that although Jordan was very pretty and was an Instagram model, I think she was probably low-key insecure as well, and suffered from what people call pretty girl syndrome. So I did look up the definition, the urban definition of pretty girl syndrome, and it says when an attractive female thinks she is far more beautiful than all the other women around her. Because of this, she thinks she deserves to be treated superiorly, and makes demands on those around her. Her attitude is very centered on herself, but she suffers from very low self-esteem in actuality. Women suffering from pretty girl syndrome are often treated badly by the men they care about the most, which would make sense. The dynamics between her and her boyfriend, and him finding her roommate attractive and him sexually assaulting the roommate. If she's already insecure, that's just going to further make her insecure and make her feel jealous of her roommate, who had no control over his actions and what he chose to do to assault her sexually and take advantage of her, with her being drunk, and so he was able to take advantage of her sexually because of that. So I do believe that that Jordan suffered from the pretty girl syndrome. Like, how dare my boyfriend find you attractive? You? Really? And then she probably also suffered, in my opinion, from the pick-me syndrome. So the pick-me syndrome is a person who begs for the attention, acceptance, and approval of a certain group in different things they say. In most cases, it's to attain the attention, acceptance, and approval of the opposite sex. So her participating in the killing of the roommate was her going through that choose me, okay, I forgive you for sexually assaulting my friend, and for her going down there to file a police report so to prove that I love you and I'm down for you and that I'm the right choice for you. I am going to go ahead and help you kill this girl. And she did help him kill her by placing the trash bag over Alexis's head and suffocating her until she died. She participated in it. She helped him put that poor girl's body in a bin and dump her out in a park like she was trash, like she meant nothing, like her life meant nothing, like you didn't spend time with this girl, you wasn't at her house, y'all didn't share like living quarters together, you guys didn't hang out, you chose your man over her, supposedly your friend, your best friend, and for what? To be chosen by this guy, this low life. So you throw your life away. So first of all, you ruin Alexis's life by killing her. Then you ruin your life for a guy by helping him kill your roommate / best friend. Tell me, what kind of sense does that make? It doesn't. So somewhere down the line, the self-esteem issues were low. Anytime that you would choose your boyfriend and condone him sexually abusing your best friend and condone him putting his hands on her, and not only do you condone him choking her out, you also assist him with choking her and eventually killing her by placing a trash bag over her face until she stops breathing. And I just want you to take a moment to put yourself in Alexis's shoes at that particular point in time. This is the person you trusted. You considered her your best friend. You guys get into an argument, which all friends get into arguments at some point in time. But this person you trust, you brought around your family, you consider her a friend, this person betrays you and kills you by placing a trash bag over your face. Now, from the other reports that I read, Alexis was already suffering from the trauma from that past experience because she didn't sleep in her room. She didn't feel comfortable sleeping in her room. She didn't feel comfortable being there. So she continued to sleep on the couch. That's where she slept, because she didn't feel comfortable in her room any longer. Here's another picture of them. Alexis here. I'm sorry, this is Alexis and this is Jordan. I think Alexis should have, if her best friend, and this is just coming from my point of view, if my best friend boyfriend sexually assaulted me and my best friend still decided to be with that boy and he was still coming over and they were hanging out, I would have to leave. I would not have still been living in that apartment with her. We wouldn't have no longer been roommates, and we would have no longer been friends. Because at that point in time, Jordan had made her choice. She chose her boyfriend over the friendship, and she further proved it by killing the poor girl. Which I think was probably due to her jealousy and rage and about her boyfriend finding Alexis attractive and trying to hit on her and eventually taking advantage of her sexually. Now, to the extent of that, the reports don't say. But what we do know is that the police failed her when she went and filed this report. Because they could have taken him to jail, especially if they did a background check and they can see other things that he's been arrested for. Why not take the boy to jail and save this young girl's life? She was only 21. She had her whole life to live before her, and it was taken away for no reason. No reason at all. Over an altercation. Over the fact that your boyfriend found me attractive and tried to take advantage of it and then lied to you about it. So now you're feeling some type of way towards me about it. And I'm pretty sure if you're a woman, you can feel your intuition, where you can feel that something ain't right between you and a friend. Like, you can feel the jealousy, whether it's through negative comments or like slick stuff that they say, or just the vibe being off. You can just tell like something is off here. I shouldn't be here. But I guess she didn't. It was like a frenemy thing. I don't know. It's kind of sickening though. Kind of like those mothers who husband or boyfriend molests their child and they look at the child as the child, the one that seduced the boyfriend, and it's the child's fault, and they take the man's side over their child's side. It's kind of the same concept here in this situation, except for instead of it being a mother and a child relationship, it was two females best friend relationship going on. And I just feel so sorry for the parents of Alexis. It looks like she was expected to graduate that year and her life was just left out for no reason at all. It's just senseless. So now Jordan's life is going down the drain. She got to spend, hopefully they both get convicted, so she got to spend the majority of her life in jail over a guy that didn't give a damn about you. Because if he cared about you, he would have never put you in that predicament to begin with. And if he cared about you, he wouldn't have never sexually assaulted your friend or even looked at your friend in that light where it was okay for him to feel like he can touch on her, kiss on her, and then lock her in the bathroom. Obviously, he didn't love you. And obviously, you didn't love yourself enough to break up with him and disassociate yourself with him and just focus on your schooling and finishing college and living out the rest of your life. But because temporary feelings and you supposedly love this guy and now Alexis is your enemy, you participate in her murder. Not only did you put the plastic bag over her head and ended her life, you helped him move her body to the park and dump her like a piece of trash, like her life meant nothing. You just threw her away. And then, to show you how sick this girl is, she's posting missing posters on her Instagram of Alexis, like she's really concerned, like she don't really know where she at, like she's sad for her, like please help find my friend, and please help. And this is the last time I've seen her, and we're looking for like a psychopath, basically. And then she led the police to the body. And if they didn't get caught, if the police didn't do their job, she would have never admitted to where Alexis was or admitted to her part into it. It's just sad all around. And so I would just say, if you get any bad vibes from any friends, or they low-key jealous of you, or they make little slick comments about you all the time, or you can just tell, if you're intuitive, you can tell when someone's low-key jealous of you and they not rocking with you like that. Stay away from them, because they're dangerous. And especially if they're suffering from the pretty girl syndrome, or the pick me, choose me, because a female that has that much low self-esteem where she's like, choose me, and do anything to try to gain the attention of a guy so she can be chosen, or make her feel like she's chosen, they're dangerous. They will never side with you. They will always side with them and do whatever they need to do for that person to choose them. They're dangerous. A friend that's jealous is dangerous. A friend that suffers from pretty girl syndrome is dangerous. A friend that suffers from choose me syndrome is dangerous. A friend that low-key wants your life is dangerous. They're dangerous. And you need to stay away from them, because there's no telling what they will do to you. People pretend well. But if you pay attention to the signs, pay attention to the slick little comments, pay attention to the little jokes they made, pay attention to the energy, pay attention to how they react if you have good news and such and such and such. Just pay attention. It's always signs. And people tend to overlook it and ignore the signs because, well, they my friend. Like my mama used to tell me, everybody ain't your friend. And people pretend well. Those are your associates. Not saying people can't fall out and stuff like that, but to the extent if Alexis would have listened to herself, or had someone there that could talk to her, her family could tell her, well, you don't need to be at that apartment no more. Jordan's still with him. You don't need to be there. Matter of fact, you and Jordan probably don't even need to be friends anymore. Point blank, period. And who's to say if somebody would have stepped in and said that wouldn't have helped save her life? Could you imagine being in the same apartment, in the same living space, with all that built up resentment and jealousy and hate over a dude? And then you bring him around. So now when he come over, she watching her sideways. She watching both of them. Funny. Sideways. Looking. Women, you know how we are. When we get a vibe that a female low-key wants our man, or low-key likes him, we watch. But in this case, it was unwarranted, because it wasn't Alexis who wanted her boyfriend. It was the other way around. And I think there was a post where Jordan was like, oh, can't wait till I'm done with school. I'm so under pressure so I can feel pretty again. And sign right there. Feeling insecure. Mentally breaking down. College is too much for her. And now her being the beautiful girl and being this Instagram model, and people constantly telling you you're beautiful and you're pretty, but the person that you want to hear it from the most is finding your friend attractive. It's just sad all the way around. And it's really sad again that the police failed this girl. Because if they would have took into action and took her report seriously, it probably could have saved her life. And if that happened to me, I wouldn't be drinking no more around them, because I wouldn't be able to trust them. Because if you drinking, you're not fully coherent. If you're drinking, you fully can't protect yourself. So if she took her to the liquor store, they're drinking, then they get into an altercation, she can't fully defend herself because of the alcohol. She can't do it. It's just sad, and I feel really sad for her family. It's just sickening. Just really sad. And then another case where a guy in Philadelphia is using counterfeit money to buy drugs. And in his mind, he's thinking, let me take my 11-month-old son with me to go make drug deals with counterfeit money, because if they see my son in the car, they're not gonna shoot me. Really? And in his case, it backfired, because they did shoot at his car. And you know who got hurt? The 11-month-old child. The baby got shot 4 times. One in the head, one in the back, and I believe one in the leg and one in the butt. I have the story here too for this case as well. And in the reports, they're saying that he used the baby as a human shield. But if they shot up the car, he didn't purposely put the baby up and try to use the baby as a human shield. But he did take the baby with him to shield him from the actions of his choices. The consequences, I would say. So here's the idiot that took his 11-month-old baby with him to go and try to buy drugs with counterfeit money. So this is what it says about this. An 11-month-old boy was shot multiple times after his father allegedly took him to Philadelphia drug deal as a human shield, believing the baby's presence would forestall violence. An official with the district attorney's office said Tuesday. Nafes Monroe was arrested over the weekend in connection with the October shooting. Anthony Voci Jr., the chief of Philadelphia District Attorney Homicide Unit, said in a news conference Tuesday. Monroe is charged with recklessly endangering another person and endangering the welfare of a child. The 11-month-old was in the vehicle's back seat with Monroe and Monroe's girlfriend at the time of the shooting, authorities said. The baby sustained gunshot wounds to the head, torso, and rear of his body. A police department spokeswoman told NBC News Wednesday police previously said if the baby survives, he does not have a chance of full recovery and will most likely be quadriplegic. After the shooting, you would think that the dude would rush the baby to the hospital to make sure he's okay. But no. Common sense ain't so common with this idiot. Monroe did not rush his son to the hospital, but instead drove him to a house. When he did take the 11-month-old to a hospital, he never looked back and went into the wind, so to speak. Didn't give a damn about this baby. Didn't give a damn that this baby may not live. Didn't give a damn that this baby was shot up, obviously. And then you just drop him off at the hospital and leave. And then your first instinct as a parent is to protect your child. So when the gunfight shots start going off, you should have been hovering over that baby to protect him. But no, you as the police, they use that baby as a human shield. Not literally, but that's exactly what you did by putting that baby in danger. That's exactly what this idiot did. And then to not stay at the hospital with him after you put his life in danger. He's 11 years old. I can't imagine being shot 4 times. And this poor little baby, 11 months old, shot in the head, in the torso, and in the lower body. Why? Because his daddy is a deadbeat and wants to use counterfeit money to purchase drugs. If you can't afford the drugs you don't need to be using. But it also says Monroe, who also uses the alias Nafes and Nafes, was wanted on a probation warrant and was using counterfeit money to purchase drugs at the time of the incident. Monroe knew that the use of counterfeit money is something that is very upsetting to drug dealers. And when they find out that they're being burned with counterfeit money, they act violently. This was not the first instance of Mr. Monroe using counterfeit money. And in fact, some was found in the car that his son was shot in. And this is what they say, and it's our belief and our investigation has led us to believe that he intentionally had his child with him when he was making such types of purchases, with the idea or belief if someone saw that he had a child in the car that they would not fire upon him. Asked at Tuesday's news conference if Monroe allegedly used the child as protection in a drug deal, Vosey said, "A human shield is probably the term that I would use." These streets are cold. These drug dealers don't give a damn about if you got a child with you, if you if you're messing with their money, messing up their income, and messing up how they are going to feed their family. Oh, there's going to be gun violence. And they don't care who's in a car, as it was proven here when they shot in that car and them 4 shots hit that little baby. And the person that should have been protecting that baby, did nothing happen to him. Except maybe some jail time now. But the baby's the one that's going to have to go through all the medical attention, even if the baby even survives. It's just sad and sickening what this world is coming to. Can you imagine an 11-month-old baby getting shot in the head? Just think about that. An 11-month-old baby getting shot in the head. And then taking 3 more bullets to the body. I'm a mother. And I put my child before myself any day of the week. I would not purposely put my child in any danger at all. And I don't know if it's the motherly instincts that I have, but I would never, ever do that to my child. And for this guy to purposely put his child in danger, thinking that because he had his baby that the police, that the drug dealers was gonna have some type of sympathy towards him, my heart just breaks for the mother, because it's hard enough to entrust people with your child, but you would think that the father of the child wouldn't put that baby in harm's way. So you think when you're letting your child go with their parent, their other parent, that they're safe, that they're going to protect them with their life like you protect them with your life, and that they're in good hands. Not that they're taking them on drug deals using counterfeit money, thinking that if I have my child with me, they're not going to shoot me. You know how many kids die daily due to gun violence and gang violence and drug violence? Do you know? Do you not read the papers? These real killers out here, they ain't giving they don't care about nothing but they family and feeding their family. They don't care about yours or if you gotta bury your child. They don't care about that. All they care about is making their money. And then you go and try to scam them with counterfeit money. It's just crazy. These two cases, it's just sad. Like, you can't trust females, you can't trust your female friends, and you can't trust the father of your child to protect your child and to keep him out of harm's way. I just pray for both families, and who knows what the future is going to hold for that little baby if he does make it. Well, they said he could be a quadriplegic. His life just taken away at 11 years old. I'm sorry, I sounded illiterate when I said that. 11 years old. Sorry, at 11 months. And for what? For some drugs. And then Alexis was killed over envy, and dude probably not wanting to go to jail, but end up going to jail anyway because he participated in her murder. And your so-called best friend helped someone who sexually assaulted you kill you and dump you away in a bin in a park like you didn't mean nothing. But that's all I got in regards to these two stories today. I would love to hear what you guys think about this, so if you can or you have any opinions, please drop your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, like, and share my video. Thank y'all.
How many brothers fell victim to the street? Rest in peace, young nigga. There's a heaven for you. Be alive if I told you that I never thought of that. My niggas, we the last ones left. But life goes on.